Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm a little behind today. Mechanical difficulties with the chair, electronic difficulties with the PA system, and just in general difficulties. So didn't want to get out of bed this morning right off the bat. So that started it with a good attitude.
Carry it over, yeah.
I'd like to welcome all of you to the People's Church of Divine Prophecy. This is our regular Sunday service. A couple of quick housekeeping rules. Please silence your cell phones unless you're medical or law enforcement personnel. We have bathrooms down the hall, quick right, quick left, cold drinks in the fridge, hot drinks on the table in the back, and a lot of food today. This is our potluck lunch. So please help yourself. We usually eat the food afterwards, but if you can't resist, taste test a little bit.
Quality control.
Yeah, make sure that it's right. I'd like to have Darlene light the candles symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit to start the service. Thank you. As usual, the body doesn't want to be here. Each one of the candles symbolizes something different. Bodies to the left, minds to the middle, and spirits to the right. We always joke about that, but usually it's the body that doesn't want to light right off the bat. So please stand for the invocation or remain standing for the first hymn. Dear Father God, we give thanks for this time here today. May we feel the hope and joy that's here by those that came and by your infinite presence. May we respond outwardly with that same love, hope, and happiness to all that we meet and all that we speak to. Amen.
There's a white page, it's starting yellow page. And we're going to do number 1, Fear My God to Thee. Well, they probably didn't want me there. I'm sir, I have a dark sense of humor. You do know this was the last time they played on the Titanic.
How appropriate.
Don't worry, the life jackets are underneath your chairs.
That sums up the week, right, Steve?
Nearer, my God.
about that hymn is that the musicians realized that they weren't going to get off the ship. So they did what they loved right up to the minute they died, and did what was hopeful and helpful to those around them, trying to produce some sort of happiness and calmness in the midst of a disaster. So they did what they loved right up to the moment they died, and that's what I think about that song.
Wow.
The next portion is a thought for the day from the pastor. This is where I bring something forward that I've worked through a challenge in my past week and put it into a spiritual perspective through a philosophy that I'm trying to bring into my life. And today I was thinking about frustrations in your life. As a human being, we're going to encounter frustrations almost every day, almost every encounter. There's the opportunity to get frustrated or the opportunity to be a spiritual being. And what I've found out is that when I start to get a little frustrated, if I back off and stop for a minute and take a couple of breaths, there is that undercurrent of spiritual peace in your life that you can tie into. And at the very least, you can do nothing when you're tuned into that and just not add to the situation. And I know when we get frustrated, when I get frustrated, I feel it's perfectly justifiable. You know, that person did that to me, and that's not right, and I have every right to be frustrated. And that might be true, but it doesn't relieve you of your responsibility to be a spiritual person and act correctly. As a human being, you're going to be frustrated with things. That's the nature of who you are. You can't help but be that way at times. That's your human nature. But as spiritual people, we try to bring in a higher-minded discipline. We try most of the time not to react that way, and sometimes we succeed and sometimes we don't. And with me, when I fail miserably. Boy, I just get right down in it and just act like a real fool when I lose it. So, but I think the key thing to it is to not let that bind you, not let that be an indication to you of your spiritual development when you lose it back to you once in a while. That's your right, that's your nature. To think that that's an indication of the spiritual person that you are is not correct. If you can even ask the question or consider to yourself that that wasn't spiritual, then you are a spiritual person, because people that are not of that nature don't even ask that question. That question can't even enter their mind. That concept is a completely foreign concept to them. So by the very fact that you're looking at yourself in that nature shows that you are a spiritually minded person. You just acted like a human being that last time, that's all, and that's quite all right once in a while. For me, it used to be more than not, so I think I've made some progress. A lot of what that has to do with that is gratitude for what you have. Most of the time when I get frustrated, it's because either somebody's not doing something I expected them to, wanted them to, or the way I wanted them to. So there's all those I's in there. Control what you think, control what you expect, and you'll always be able to pull back to that spiritual side of you. So just take time and remember that. And there's also something else. When people tend to intentionally try to frustrate you and knock you off your spiritual path, what comes to my mind is something that a politician said one time. He was in a real tight race and was an honest, straightforward guy, didn't believe in slinging mud or talking people down for any reason, and he lost the election. And he started to revert to slinging mud at the end of the campaign and still lost. And when asked what he thought, what he learned from that, he told a reporter, he said, "It's real simple, don't get in a peeing contest with a skunk." And that's the truth. The people that do that to you are masters at that kind of energy. They're masters at that kind of manipulation. And the very least you can do is just get extremely angry and frustrated. So don't get into that with somebody if that's the nature of your frustration. You be the spiritual person you are, and you'll always be able to overcome or circumvent what that person's trying to do, because it's a completely different energy. So just think of these things as you go through your day, and remember that it's okay to be human. Thank you for listening. Be seated. The next portion of the service is the healing portion. I'd like to have Judy and Lorraine take positions behind the healing chairs. And the way this works is that Ashkhen's going to do a guided meditation. When you hear this during the meditation, that means that the healing chairs become vacant. And usually there's 3 in the back there, so if you have a seat in the back, if one of those 2 aren't vacant, then I'll move you forward as the chairs become vacant. That way you can enjoy the healing meditation and the contact healing service. We'll start the service by reading the prayer for spiritual healing in the back of the hymnal. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Find a comfortable position to sit so we can start the meditation. Relax your body. Let go of the tension if there is any. Take in few deep breaths. And with your exhale, just release and let go. Allow your body to relax. Let go of the thoughts that are on your mind. If any worries, any concerns, just breathe it out for now and let it go. Bring your focus and your awareness to your breath. Engage with the mechanism of your breath. While you breathe in and out, just feel the flow of your breath as you inhale and exhale. Feel the motion of your breath. Try to listen to your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the quietness of your breath. While it flows throughout your body, through your mind, your spirit. Feel your breath taking you deeper and deeper within yourself to a very peaceful and quiet presence. That feels calm and soothing. Connect with this peaceful presence. While you breathe, repeat to yourself quietly, I am at peace within and with my surroundings. I am at peace within and with my surroundings. Sensations flowing along with your breath. While you hear your voice, I am at peace within and with my surroundings. Be still in this quietness. Be still. Embrace this peacefulness of your consciousness. This is the true state of your being. Embrace this peaceful state of yourself. Just be still. Regardless of what goes around in your life, maintain this peaceful state of your consciousness. Feel your awareness slowly shifting higher. Higher to your forehead, and above your head, connecting you with your higher self. That is surrounded with brilliant, brilliant golden light. As you connect with your higher self, envision golden energies from the golden light coming down to the crown of your head, entering and flowing in and around your forehead, healing and clearing your mental body, clearing all the thoughts, the beliefs that are stopping you from achieving your highest potentials. Feel this golden healing energy activating your infinite creativity, activating the divine knowledge and wisdom within your soul and spirit. Feel this healing energy moving down to your neck, your throat. As it moves, it clears, it heals the blockages, enhancing your communication skills and your verbal expressions, where you are able to express your divine truth. Just follow this golden energy moving down to your shoulders and extending to your arms, to your hands and fingers. Feel this golden healing energy filling your chest, healing the organs of your physical body as it moves in a very slow motion. See the energy moving to your back, around your stomach, moving down to your lower abdomen, touching and healing your emotional body, healing the emotions of hurt, sadness, pain. Just breathe out. Feel this energy cleansing your emotions and activating your true emotions of love, joy, happiness. While breathing in and out, embrace those emotions. Feel this golden healing energy renewing the cells, the tissues in your body. Moving in and around the molecules, the protons, healing the electrons in your body, crystallizing your DNA to its perfect condition. See every single atom in your body vibrating with this beautiful divine healing energy. See it moving gently within you, moving down to your knees, your legs. See it going out through the soles of your feet, extending deep into the ground and anchoring you to the earth. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel this golden energy expanding further outside your body. Filling your entire aura with beautiful golden light, healing and stabilizing your electromagnetic field. Take a look at yourself, sitting inside this beautiful circle of golden light. Your body is at ease and your mind at peace. You are breathing peacefully. Feel the sensations of this golden light energizing you, nurturing you, nourishing you. Feel your body's physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual are healed and balanced, are totally aligned with your higher self, with your perfect self. See yourself like a tower of light, projecting light, vibrating light. Stand tall in your divinity and let your light shine. Let your light reach everywhere, near and far. See your light extending throughout the world. Reaching the areas of unrest and war. Let your light create a shift in the consciousness of humanity everywhere, towards peace, love, unity, and harmony. Let your light reach the oceans, the minerals, the plants, the animals. Stand tall. And just be the light. Wherever you are, whatever you do, just be the light that you are. Be the love that you are. Hold your highest intentions that serves the highest good of all. Intent for light, intent for love, intent for peace. Allow this vision and the vibrations to sink deep into your consciousness. And with the knowing that you are the light of God that never fails. And the light is always around you, within you, for you are the light of God. regardless of where you are, of what you do. You are the light of God. Start coming back slowly. Follow your breath. That is bringing you back. Become aware of your physical senses. Become aware of your feet, your hands. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
In this portion with an inspirational reading. I must overcome myself before I can truly forgive other people for injuries done. The very thought of wrongs means that myself is in the foreground. Since the self cannot forgive, I must overcome my selfishness first. I must cease trying to forgive those who fretted and wronged me. It is a mistake for me to even think about these injuries. I must aim at overcoming myself in my daily life, and then I will find there is nothing in me that remembers the injury, because the only thing injured, my selfishness, is gone. Thank you. Be seated. The next portion of the service is the inspirational lecture. And today, we actually have a husband and wife team, but the wife, Reverend Jonella Bachman, is going to do a lecture, and then they'll both do a message service afterwards. Reverend Jonella Bachman has spoken here a number of times. She always brings forth things from her life, how she's put it into perspective, how she's overcome adversity through her own spiritual path and the spirit inspiration she works with. And this is, people come into spiritual awareness two ways, either through intellectual pursuits or through difficulties in their lives. And Reverend Jonella Bachman comes from both directions, actually, because she's a business owner, a mother, a State Certified Contractor, and just has a lot of wealth of knowledge on both ends of that. So please welcome Reverend Jonella Bachman.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's always very different to sit in the front row, and periodically we do look around the room as we're all gathering to see who's showing up, what the crowd looks like, and all of that. But the moment you stand up here, it's real, and it feels like a family. This morning, hang on to your hats, I'm going to ask you, what are you waiting for? With that, let me begin by telling you I have the beginning of 5 books that I'm writing. Now, not to embarrass myself, but I've had 5 books started for years. And I know people now at this age that have written books. I even have friends that are publishers. So do you think the universe is trying to tell me something? I actually am feeling that little nudge toward maybe writing another one, beginning another one, or finishing one of the ones I've got. We'll just see. I'll just let you help me hold my feet to the fire periodically. The inspiration, though, for this presentation today was a simple daily thought from the Perpetual Calendar by Mike Dooley, Notes from the Universe. He said, quote, "If you just start dancing, I can assure you by the powers vested in me, more than you could ever imagine, the music will be added, as will the partners, the giant disco ball, and whatever else you like. Do your thing, and I'll do mine. The universe." Close quote. So often as we walk our daily walk and stay in the whirlwind of our busy with our children and our laundry and cleaning the house and all of those work responsibilities that we have, we find that elusive thing called time just fluttering away, passing without a thought. Wasn't it just Christmas? And don't we all know that it'll just be Christmas again in a minute? We really don't need excuses to procrastinate. Life offers us plenty of reasons. And they say if you want to get something done, you just need to ask a busy person. I've always been one of those people. People ask, and I just learned recently that no is a full sentence. I still don't use it as much as I wish I did, and certainly as much as my sweet David wants me to. He told me one time, I call them moments in time. We were having one of our moments in time one time, and he said, "Jonella, you're just a professional volunteer." And because we were in our moment of time, I spit and sputtered about that for a while. And then all of a sudden I had to stop and say, could he be right about that? Is that all I do? Do I just stir up a lot of dust, or do I just hold up other people's dust? Sometimes don't we have to find that we have to just stop on purpose to smell the roses? We have to constantly let go of the thoughts of yesterday and the anxiety of tomorrow in order to move forward in life and find the life that we were meant to have. A year ago in February, we closed a shop that was very similar to Daytona Books. This week, still clearing the clutter of some of that, I ran across a sign, and it said, "It's a girl." Yay! I had put that sign on my door when I went to the hospital for my baby granddaughter, our baby granddaughter, to be born. That sweet girl will be 6 in August. Now, there aren't very many things in life that remind us more than a baby or a child how quickly time goes and how much we haven't gotten done since her last birthday. It's amazing to watch that growth. So what are you waiting for? What is your dream? Sometimes it's hard to see all the parts of those dreams. Sometimes we think we're headed in the right direction and life turns us around, and then we think we're headed in the other right direction. It's crazy. I can remember Diane Davis. She comes to you from time to time. One of my greatest mentors, and I can remember her saying to me, "Jonella, just follow your purpose. Just find your purpose." Oh my gosh. Until I saw Steve Martin say he had a purpose, I didn't even know that I could have one of those. A purpose. It's so difficult sometimes. The universe, sometimes you feel it tugging at your sleeve, and and you can't sometimes figure the direction it's pulling. There's so many possibilities, and especially if you're me, oh my gosh, I wake up before my sweet husband has opened his eyes, and I say, honey, I got an idea. He doesn't want to open his eyes. You just have to never give up. You have to simply keep opening the doors that are presented to you. And something opens for that chapter of your life. And I truly believe there are two pictures of our lives. We are a puzzle, and there's always room for one more puzzle piece in our life. From the time we're born until the time we cross over, I believe there's room for one more puzzle piece. And every piece of that puzzle, I believe, is a chapter in your book. So if you change, it's okay. It's just a new chapter. Do you ever meet people that seem to have it all together? Surely they figured it out. What I've really learned is none of us have it all together. We're all missing some of the parts, and it takes all of us to make our puzzle work. I believe that you were chosen to be right where you are today. That your God will put the thoughts in your mind, and the noises will come out of me and Steve and the other people that are here, or maybe at him, exactly what you needed today. What you chose today. In this world of social media and computer challenges, does anyone else have a challenge with the computer? Oh
no.
goodness. So many choices, it's hard to zero in on what is the best place for us to land. But somehow we need to separate from what others are doing, and mostly what others think we should be doing. That's really a hard one. Everybody out there has an opinion these days, and if you ask me mine, I probably will give it to you too. We all want to hear ourselves talk, and all want to share what we've learned. And some of us do that a little bit more graciously than others. Think for a moment of a person that's looked up to you and trusted you. Whether it was a child or another adult in your life, they knew that you had something unique that they needed for their book. Now reverse that. Think of somebody that you've looked up to. That special person in your own life. In those times, usually it's not the knowledge or the talent that you're trying to draw from them. But what you really do is you connect with them on a soul level. And they really have what you need. And it's not usually the task that the two of you are involved in. It's soul to soul, and it's as natural and universal as anything you could ask for. Those rare times are created by something outside of ourselves and are as much a part of our growth and evolution as anything we ever learned in school. And unless we are really paying attention, this is a tough one, unless we're really paying attention, most of those lessons are learned in hindsight. It's difficult to live in the present and not try to overthink the universe. But only then can we be cradled by the education of the most meaningful things in our life. Dan Millman writes in his book, Way of the Peaceful Warrior, only the mind is deluded, threatened by change. So if you will just relax, mindless into the body, you'll be happy and content and free, sensing no separation. Immortality is already yours. You've been immortal since you were born and will be long after the body dissolves. The body is consciousness. It is immortal. It only changes. The mind, your own personal beliefs and history and identity, is the only mortal. Don't let anybody or anything, least of all your own thought, draw you out of the present. Close quote. Sometimes it's difficult to sort out our thoughts and keep them moving us forward. So much comes at us. We take on so much. We take on the fires in California. They're in our living room. Or that next precious child that was left locked in a car. Or a plane that goes down in the Ukraine. It's all in our living room. The battle they're having in Baltimore. We take it on. It surrounds us. Sometimes it's simply the grumpy person in the grocery store. One of my favorite books is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. He instructs us, he helps us hear that if you just plant weed seeds, you're going to get weeds. But that we have a choice in our garden of life of what seeds to plant. And if you plant seeds that will nourish your mind and body and spirit, then you will receive a grateful, bountiful harvest. Even if we choose to listen to the news or inadvertently meet people along the way, well, I've reached for it twice. It is imperative that we stay in control of our thoughts and don't make it too complicated. Practice feeling what you're supposed to feel in this journey of life. This is your journey. I've developed it in my lifetime now, an essential tremor. So when my mouth goes dry and I'm standing up here shaking like a bunny rabbit, it's really kind of interesting. Anyway, the journey of life and holding your own thought. It's really interesting because it's kind of like riding a raft on the lazy river. Now don't let me pretend that it's all that pleasant all the time. Life is life. The yin and the yang is important. And we'll always have it. You'll never escape that, no matter who you are. But I always say if it didn't rain sometimes, we just wouldn't appreciate the sunshine as much. You may not be that person that has huge dreams. You may never start 5 books. Your dreams are your dreams. And I can tell you, no matter how insignificant they feel to you or to another person that you're sitting in front of, because it's your journey, it's the same mountain. It's just as big and just as important because it's your life journey. You don't have to answer to another person. Isn't that the best? That you don't have to answer to anybody else? Robert Fulghum says in his book, All I Need to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten, quote, live a balanced life, learn some and think some, and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day, some. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out into the world, watch out for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. Be aware of wonder Close quote. Let me encourage you this day that the people in this room are here to inspire you. And you are here to inspire them. Not because it's work, not because it's a chore and you feel like you have to. It's because your God and your universe placed you at this moment in time. The room has been prepared for you. The music has been prepared for you. The universe chose the thoughts you will have this moment. Take a deep breath. Reach for courage. Reach for the joy of your creative spirit. Trust your God and your universe. What are you waiting for? And now for a bit of truth. My truth. When I knew I was coming, immediately when you put it on your calendar and you know you're going to present someplace, you start thinking about that. And you start thinking, how can I be inspired? What can I bring? What does God need me to say to just one of those people? If you touch one person in all of these people, you've done your job. And immediately, I don't know if everyone's like this, but for me, when I put it on my calendar, I start asking for inspiration. I start asking then for God to tell me what to bring to you. I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't get inspired. I said, oh, I know, I need to think of their little faces. I've been here enough. I need to think of the people. God will inspire me that way. He'll tell me who to talk to. And I waited, and I waited some more. And the past 2 weeks I thought, you better get serious. This is coming. And you better get serious. And every time I tried to think about what to say to you, all I could think of was, this is May, and I have not cleaned that garage yet. It is hot, and I haven't cleaned the garage yet. I even had a friend of mine that does speaking elsewhere say, well, what are you going to talk about? And I said, I don't know. All I can think of is it's May, and I haven't cleaned the garage yet. So sure enough, for you today, I talked about procrastination. Whatever it is in your world, I'm not saying you need to go home and clean the garage. I might not get that done for a while either. You can hold my feet to that fire if you'd like. That'd be nice. What are you waiting for?